Welcome to week 4 of Shift, Future You. So, in the previous modules, we have uncovered and discovered a lot. We have gone through the current situation, the current realities. We have dug into the past to see what stories, what limiting beliefs, and what things have been holding you back. Then we went into our vision and what we actually desire to create. Today is all about decision. It is decision time because here's what I know. I've been teaching mindset and working with my clients on the inner stuff for a very long time. I've even done this personally with myself. And until we make an absolute decision to move forward, an absolute decision to leave behind our old habits and the things that are keeping us stuck, we will just stay where we are. It is not enough to just know. You must do. You must make a decision. So, what I'm going to walk you through today is just the reality of actually closing that gap, actually looking towards the future, towards who you desire to be, and making some definite decisions in your habits, in your thought processes, in how you're operating day to day, in what you're tolerating, in the people that you're around. This is what's going to move you there faster. This is what's actually going to create these quantum shifts. I'm going to say it again because I think it's worth repeating, and you might hear me say it a few more times in this lesson, but it's not enough just to know. You must do. You must make a decision. So, what we want to do is really take a look at everything that we've done in the previous weeks. Take a look at the current situation, take a look at the limiting beliefs in the previous stories. Hopefully, you've gotten to a point where you worked through that. You've done your forgiveness work, you've done your letters, you've done the things that you need to do in order to move past that. You've rewritten the stories, you've rewritten exactly what you want it to be like. Because here's the thing, the past is only going to dictate our future if we let it. If you can just take the lessons, if you can really look at what you want and what you desire and say, you know what, these things happened in the past, or I used to think these things in the past, or I, had these limiting beliefs in the past, and really commit to like rewriting that, really commit to not even rewriting, but like living it, living it. And that's what this week is all about. It is about taking a look at everything that's currently happening, how far you are away from where you want to be, or if you want to look at it from a different perspective, how close you are to where you want to be. Because a lot of times it's just literally one decision that's going to change your entire life. And so I know that this is going to be difficult. And so wherever you are, however far in the process you've gotten, however far in the process you've done your forgiveness work and all of that, will determine how quickly you're going to be able to make these decisions, will determine how quickly you're going to be able to move forward with this. Now, if you feel like you're not yet at a place to make some solid decisions, I still want you to do it. I still want you to start small. You don't have to like go all out and just flip your entire life over. But I want you to think about, what can I do today? What's one small decision? What's one small thing that I can commit to? What's one small thing that I can release or let go of? What's one new thing that I can start and really get behind today and leave what was previously there behind? I really want you to understand. I really want you to get this, because it is in the doing, and it is in the decision making, and it is in the basically like giving yourself an ultimatum, right? So, in order to really step into the new you, You have to get rid of the old you. And this does not mean that there's anything wrong with you. It does not mean that you're not who you always were, but it means that the habits, the attitudes, the beliefs, the stories, the things that you're tolerating have to change. It has to change in order for you to change your future. It has to change in order for you to change your life. It has to change in order for you to actually make a shift. So it's all about the scary decisions. It's all about, what do I now get to decide? And who you quote unquote were, you're going to take the lessons, you're going to take the memories, you're going to take the things that were positive and continue to do those. But now anything that's negative or anything that was limiting, we want to replace. And we want to have conviction in that. And we want to have confidence in that. And we want to have certainty in that. Like, this is no longer me. This person who makes decisions like this is no longer me. This person who tolerates this is no longer me. This person who gets, who acts like a doormat and gets walked all over is not me. This person who bends and breaks her boundaries, that's no longer me. I want you to really think about this from both the perspective of like actual physical things that are in your life, and then also just the more, you know, mindset type things. So it's like, what are you allowing? What are you tolerating? But also, is there actually anything in your life? Is there maybe a team member that you've been holding on to because you quote unquote feel bad, but you know that this team member is holding you back from being the best entrepreneur, the best business person you can be? Maybe it's something in your habits. Maybe you've gotten lazy and you haven't taken care of your body, or you haven't put your health first. You can make a decision today that, a multi six figure business owner, a multi-million dollar business owner, puts herself first, takes care of her health, makes it a priority, and step into that. Where do you have to say no? Where do you have to say no in your life? Or where do you have to let go? Or what do you have to let go? Now, I know there's, some big decisions that I'm not requiring you to make, but may have to be made down the road as it pertains to maybe people that are in your life. So I'm not an advocate for, breaking up families or spouses, or, not talking to your parents, or like, I'm not an advocate for that at all. But if you know that something or someone is holding you back, you have to make a decision on, what do I want to do with this? What do I want to do with this? Do I want to work really hard and allow that person to rise up to where I'm at? Do I want to have a hard conversation with this person and tell them what I now expect and tell them what I now desire and see how it lands? The conversation pieces are also going to be very difficult if you have people on your team, clients. Maybe you're working with a client that no longer serves you. There's so many little things that we go on day by day, and we just really allow things to happen, that if we were that next level version of ourselves, if we were that person who had all the things that you desire, we would not be doing it. And you know this. And so I really want you to get real with yourself. I really want you to get honest with yourself. I really want you to trust that you know what's good for you and what's not good for you. And be okay with, number one, acknowledging that. And number two, making a decision on, what am I going to do with this now? Now that I know this, what am I going to do with this? Is there a specific time frame? A lot of things can be fixed with a conversation. Maybe it's something with a team member. You could have a conversation and let them know, hey, here's what I'm experiencing, and that doesn't really work for me. So here's how I would love things to move forward. And give that person space to rise up. Give that person space to do what you need them to do. Because a lot of times other people in our lives have no idea what we even want, because we've sent out so many mixed signals. We've sent out so many different things that, like, we have not kept our word, you know? And so they look at us or they hear us or they see us do something, but they actually don't believe it. So now is the time that you get to decide that your word is law, that what you say you mean, that the things that you desire you get to have, or you get to, at minimum, request from the people in your life, right? And this is not about ultimatums to other people. This is not about demanding the things that you desire. It's about fully stepping into that next level version of yourself that just commands it with your energy, that commands it with your actions and your words and doing the things that you say you're going to do. Because that kind of stuff rubs off on people. This is going to be really great for your business when we dive into how to use the shift method to explode your business, because people are attracted to people in their power. So the more that you can step into your power, the more that you can say, this is the decision that I'm making. This is no longer the person that I am. I am working on releasing this thing. I am working on quitting this habit. Whatever it is for you, I want you to make some scary decisions today. Okay? Because if they were easy decisions, you would have already made them. If they were easy decisions, like if this was an easy thing for people to do, everyone would be rich and famous and loved and admired. But that's not the case, right? Because people allow themselves to accept less than what they want, to settle for the things that they know are not right for them. So I want you today to take a stand for you. I want you to choose you. I want you to leave the old you behind, the one that no longer serves you. A quote came up in my Instagram the other day, and I had to write it down for you because it just resonated so much with this lesson. And the quote was, I die to the woman of yesterday, for each day is a new beginning. And I really love this because, listen, I know we're human. This is not going to be an easy thing. This is going to be something where even when you make the decision, it's going to be hard to live by it. So don't beat yourself up. You're just going to get up every day and say, this is who I choose to be now. This is the woman that I get to be. This is how I choose to operate myself today. This is how I choose to operate my business. This is how I choose to interact with people. You get to make that decision every day. And here's what I know from personal experience. At some point, you're going to get really sick and tired of saying the same thing to yourself. You're going to get really sick and tired of starting over. And you're just going to make that damn decision and you're just going to do it. But it starts here. It starts with the recognition. It starts with the realization. It starts with you making these definite decisions about who you will and won't be. Taking that stand. Because, it is not enough for you to just do some forgiveness, whether that's forgiveness on other people, forgiveness on yourself for bad choices you've made or mistakes you've made. You must actually you must actually kill off the part of you that thought it was acceptable in the first place. And so as you go through this lesson and as you start to do the work here, I want you to recognize that there's going to be big things and there's going to be little things. And if it feels better for you to, start with the small things, then do that. If there's something that you have been putting off, make today the day that you decide to just do it, right? Whatever that is, whether it's having the conversation, whether it's making a decision. One of the things that I feel really holds us back is indecision and limbo. So when you're in limbo, you're unsure, you don't know what's going to happen, and that might feel a little bit safer than the unknown. But the reality is that nothing great happens when we're in our comfort zone, right? And nothing great is going to happen when you're in that limbo and you're trying to figure it out and you're wondering what's going to happen and you're unsure, you're going back and forth. Do you know how much headspace that takes up? How much of your time and your energy and your bandwidth it takes to be in limbo? So anything in your business, in your life, with whatever you have going on that may be in limbo, any kind of decisions that you just haven't nailed down yet, I want you to do that this week. I want you to uh, commit to yourself to like get yourself out of limbo and whatever it is, whether it's a decision, whether you're thinking about, making a purchase, whether you are thinking about, am I going to move forward with something or not? Like make a decision. And for me, the decision isn't always yes, decision is yes or no, yes or not now, right? The decision isn't maybe, or I'll think about it, or I've got to sit on it, or I've got to meditate on it. Decisions, yes or no. So this is a short lesson because the work is going to be the work that you have to do. It's going to be you looking objectively at everything and saying, this is what I now decide. Here are the actions that I'm going to take. Here are the decisions that I'm going to make. Here are the conversations that I need to have. Here's where I'm going to take a stand for who I desire to be. And then making that decision at each and every day that this is who you are, right? Not beating yourself up if you have to make that decision again and again and again. But like I said earlier, at some point, you're just going to get like some of the stuff might be easy, right? Like some of the stuff you're going to get right away. But some stuff you might have to keep telling yourself. You might have to keep deciding day after day. But at some point, it's going to click. You're going to get tired of it. You're going to, like, for me, I know what I do is like when I do my journal and I find myself saying the same thing, like today I'm going to do this, or I'm no longer going to accept this. And then, as the day goes on and progresses, I screw up. And the next day I'm doing it. And what happens for me is like, I just get sick and tired of it. I'm like, really? Like, you've been saying you're going to do this for this amount of time, right? And so if you get to that point, or if you have been at that point, then you just get to decide, okay, well, do I just accept this? Do I just accept that this is who I am and this is the way I'm going to be and that's not going to change? Or do I get to finally make a decision backed up by action that this is who I get to be now? So that is it for lesson 4, future you. We're going to it's action time. It's decision time. It's time to say yes. It's time to say no. It's time to start things. It's time to let things go. This is what it's all about. This is where the major shifts are going to happen. This is when you're going to see yourself collapse time. This is where you're going to see things happen at a rate that is so mind-blowing that people are going to be like, holy shit, how did you do that? You might even ask yourself, holy shit, how did I do that? It's the actual decision making. It's not just the knowing, remember? It is not enough just to know. It is not enough to just be in awareness of it. You must do something different.